What is happiness? I think happiness to me is living life living life authentically to yourself and like aligning yourself with people that are authentic to you and just learning more about yourself, learning more about others, standing in your truth. I think happiness is just doing little things and finding ways in your life to just bring yourself joy. Yeah.
I think happiness to me is like a choice. I just feel like I see so many people as I see it, make a choice to not be happy. And for me, it's like a spite sort of thing, where I'm like, I'm not gonna let myself become some miserable bastard. Like, I'm gonna make the choice to make sure I'm happy. And sometimes it is with like doing those things, but sometimes it's just like in the small moments of thinking, like, be happy right now. There's so much to be happy about. I was thinking about that today. The sun was nice. But can I respond to her? Wait, you're not there. So when you said the choices thing, it's weird because it's like I feel so not human when I think this way. But like listening to your interviews and seeing you talk about all the things you do to make yourself happy because it's the things you like to do. I'm so bad at doing the things I like to do. Like I never not force myself, because it's like, why would you have to force yourself to do the things you want to do? But that's why I feel like I'm bad at that. I literally had to write down in my notebook the things that make me happy and like make sure I was doing them. And to me, I was like, shouldn't I just be doing them? Shouldn't I just be compelled to do them? But I know that when I do them, I'm happy. I'm just not naturally inclined to do them very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know. But that's why, like, I do definitely understand, and I wish I was more like that, where I just did the things that make me happy. But instead, I think my happiness is more about just deciding that I should appreciate things more.
I was gonna say to that, I feel like sometimes you do have to like force yourself to do things that make you happy and that you know that make you happy, but like sometimes you just don't want to do shit, or sometimes you just don't want to do it. But I feel like, especially for me, like forcing myself to do things that I love, it just pulls me out of like either like my laziness or just like my thought patterns of like not wanting to do it, and just pulls me into like doing and creating. And I feel like doing is like, it gets you out of different mind states or like the rut. So it's not like you just wake up and you're like, doing this will make me happy, let's just do it. But sometimes you do have to like push yourself and like just like force yourself to do it, and then you realize like, oh, okay, like that wasn't that hard. And like even some days I have to do that. Like even with learning DJing, like it's just like so frustrating sometimes. And I'm like, nah, fuck this. I don't actually want to DJ. Like I'm a liar. But then I do it. I'm like, oh wait, this is so much fun. I love music. Like why was I being like that? So yeah, sometimes you just have to force yourself, and then it all comes.
That makes me feel more human.
How did y'all feel when I first asked y'all to be a part of this project?
I was flattered. I was interested, because like I definitely get frustrated by maybe other people's lack of happiness sometimes, especially in our work environment. So I was like, yeah, let's get into it. I love pontificating on stuff. I love like talking too long about things, and I was like, I'm gonna get to think out things that I don't really articulate very often. Like, just be able to think about what really does make me happy. And I thought it was a good challenge. And I like interviewing people. I like interviews. I think it's interesting. So I was excited. I thought it was a good idea.
Yes, I was also excited, but I was nervous because I think I had a little bit of like imposter syndrome. I was like, oh, you're asking me? Like, no. But I feel like once the first interview, like once we did the first one, I was like, okay. And just like the questions and like thinking about stuff that made me happy or like what happiness means to me, it just made me think on the topic more and like explore more of like what happiness means to me and what makes me happy. So eventually I was just like very excited to do it the next month and like see my progress. So nervous at first, but excited, yeah.
Did you, so you said the imposter syndrome, like, did you think, oh, I can't be one of the two happiest people? You know? 'Cause when she said that, I was surprised. And then I was like, okay, I guess I could see that. But like, did you feel like, no, I'm just as happy as everybody else?
Like, I know I'm a happy person, and like a lot of the times I know how to like flip negative scenarios and see the good in it, but I just didn't know like other people also saw me that way, like perceived me that way. So it was like very, like you said, like flattering and sweet, and like it made sense thinking about just like how I see myself and loving that like other people also see me that way, and just knowing how to alchemize situations. Like, not everything has to be all negative, and like, yeah, I would say so.
Do you notice other people being like, oh, like you're a downer? Or no, it's just
Like, notice other people's like,
lack of that skill to be able to flip things?
yeah, for sure. Because I feel like once you do like not master, but like know how to do that for yourself, it's very easy to see it in others that like they're just letting this one minor like inconvenience ruin their whole day, or like ruin everything that was good before, like something like that. So I feel like it's very easy to like see that in others, and you can't really do anything about it because like it's a journey. They gotta go on their own path.
I was gonna
but-
ask that. Like, are you good at consoling? Seems like a strong word, but are you just? Do you even try and like spread a little bit of that mindset, or you're like, no, like you said, it's a journey that people have to do on their own?
I'm mostly like, if it's someone that's like close to me and I know they won't take it as like offense, or like, oh, you're just trying to get me to think like you. Like, if I know they'll be open and like receiving to it, I'll like give them my perspective on it, but I won't like sit there and be like, no, you have to think like this,
Yeah.
and like,
I think I've had an issue in my past with maybe being too invested in like how other people live their lives, like my friends and stuff. So I see it as mostly a lost cause. I don't know. It's
Okay.
like that's a little bit of a negative perspective on like the it's your own journey.
yeah.
But a lot of people, I'm like I could say, I can remind them what the positive way to spin it is. If they don't take that bait, then it's like that's you're only doing yourself harm at the end of the day. It's like.
Correct.
So, I don't know, but if let's say your friend was making an interview documentary about how to be happier, or like just anybody, just blank statement, if you had to write down like, oh, these are what I did to make myself happier. Do you have like an easy sum upable,
Like in
thing?
any scenario type of thing?
Maybe not any scenario, but just like kind of general rules to that you told yourself like this is what's gonna make me happier. This is how I spend things.
I think just kind of thinking of, I don't know if this is great, but like thinking of like how it could have been worse, or like it always just goes to like being grateful and like seeing like the issue or the problem in front of you, and just like listing out ways that this could have been worse. Like, there are things to be grateful for. I'm the type of person where I'm like, there's a lesson in everything. Like, whether it's like a shitty person that you dealt with, or like your car tire popped, or like just something happened. I feel like not everything, but a lot of like day to day like things that come up that could ruin your day. I feel like there's always something to learn, or like get out of it, or just learn about yourself even. So I feel like that helps a lot with spinning situations. Like, not everyone's out to get you, or the universe is not against you. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's just different ways and perspectives you can look at things. Like, you just have to be like an open person to even look at different things like that. So yeah,
You
I would
still.
just say, be open. And I think I'm a pretty open person.
It's okay to feel bad though. It's okay to not be happy about the situation and
Yeah.
kind of accept that grief.
I just turn it off and be like, nope, everything's fine, like it's fine. But yeah, definitely like giving myself grace and like giving others grace in situations like that, I think is very important. So I definitely try to do that as much as I can.
Have you been in a funk in recent times that you had to like actively get yourself out of, or no?
Yes. Because I had like a friend that like low-key ghosted me, and I was like, damn, okay. And that kind of hurt my feelings a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like situations like that are the type to like kind of affect me, because I really love my friends and I pour a lot into my friendships. And it's like situations like I had my tire pop like a month ago too, and I was just like, all right, let's get that fixed, like whatever. But I feel like situations like that really affect me. But it's also like I said, like something that I had to learn from it is what I took from it. So just like looking at situations like that and realizing what I can take from it, because it happened. It's shitty. Like damn, that sucks. But it's like okay, what can I learn?
What'd you
How
learn
can
from the
I-
tire popping?
I learned that I shouldn't keep riding on curbs and acting like my tire is not gonna pop. Like I think my car's a Jeep or something. I don't know. But that's what I learned. I'm like, let me go slow on these Philly roads.
What'd you learn from the friendship?
I learned that not everyone is like gonna pour into you the same way you're gonna pour into them. Like, and that's okay. You guys are just on two different like alignments, I guess. Like, it's not like a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just you guys are two different people on two different journeys, and that person will find their friends that you know are on the same vibe with them.
Was the lesson to pour less into someone, or just to accept that they're not gonna give the same amount back?
It's more like being picky with the people that you pour that much
yeah.
into, and like just being very careful and just like always like doing a list of like the people in your life and how they make you feel, and I think going from there and just always making sure that the people around you are like have good intentions. And yeah, I don't think I would ever like pour less into a friendship. It's just like you're just moving to a different category now. And I'm gonna focus on these friends that love me and like pour into me the same way I pour into them. Type of thing, yeah.
I don't know if it was literal, but I'm gonna write down that.
How they make you how do you feel around these people? Pros and cons list. And like
That is
do you
so
feel like
smart.
you're doing too much around them? Do you feel like you're pouring too much? Are you reaching out to them? Are you the only one reaching out in the friendship? Like stuff like that. And that really helped with me.
Have you ever had to be that person that ghosted someone? Or it's not your style?
No, I have been the ghosty, the ghoster.
In a friendship way, not like
Yes,
yeah.
I have been the ghoster, but that's when it gets like hard because like you know something's just like not aligning. Like I'm not just ghosting people for no reason. It's like something they've continuously done and that I brought up that maybe they just don't want to change or they can't change it for some reason. It's just like there's nothing else to do here in this friendship. So it's like, yeah, I definitely have been like the ghoster in the friendship. Because sometimes like if you bring something to someone, they don't even know what to do with that. So sometimes it is better to like just distance yourself, and maybe that'll wake them up. Maybe not. But yeah.
You said like the term journey a lot about like everybody on their own journey. What do you have like an idea of not where your journey ends, but like what you're going for on a journey, what you're looking for?
I think what I'm looking for is like to like connect with as much people as possible that align with me, but also see as much of the world that I can. So I don't know. I think just like creating community as well.
I'm trying to hold on. Maybe one day I'll have time for a journey.
Yeah.
I feel like right now I'm trying to like, and it's funny. I was talking to Hicks. I was watching your interviews. It's like, damn, I didn't realize how shitty my room is until I looked at Trinity's room. I was like, this is so aesthetic. My room's like random sheets that don't match and pillowcases that are all about.
That's
like,
the aesthetic though.
the aesthetic
That's
is
the
bare
aesthetic.
walls.
Okay,
I'm
wait,
just
no.
like,
We need
exactly.
something on the
I've got
wall.
one picture of a friend on my wall. That's it. Oh no, actually, I have 2 Christmas cards.
Okay.
From some friends.
That's something. That's a start.
Got a lot of blank space on this one. It's on there. And I have to constantly remind myself of like that I've surpassed the benchmarks I had. Like the
Yes.
idea that of these are the things I wanted to do, I accomplished them, and now my benchmarks are leagues beyond that. But remember when you were just the guy who, like, I don't feel particularly accomplished in music, even though I spent so much time like doing it. But then I look back to when I was 18 with my friend who I started the band with, and I was like, oh, I just wanted to like play a show. That was like, imagine if we could play a show, dude. And now I've played hundreds, and it's just, I don't know if it brings me a ton of joy, but like I feel good. This might not make sense, but I feel good for the person I used to be. I was like,
Yes.
that guy would be happy right now. So
yeah.
I'm glad for him. But yeah, maybe being satisfied. That's the thing. It's like I don't feel like a lack of happiness in my life, but I think satisfied is something I'm always looking for.
Yeah. I was gonna ask about happiness for you. Like, do you think it's things that you have to do on like a day-to-day to keep yourself happy, or do you think it's like just a way of life, a flow of life, or do you think it's just a consistent thing that you have to work on and like a muscle you have to work on?
I feel like there's two sides to my happiness where, like I said about the checklist thing, to achieve a checklist that I can look back and be satisfied about, I feel like I always need to be working towards something, and that leads to me being very critical and unsatisfied. I don't know how much that affects my happiness. I know I have gray hairs. I don't know if that's about that. But so that's an aspect where, like, satisfaction with my life and the happiness gained through that, I'm always chasing something new to have a checklist I'm happy about. But then, even if I'm not feeling like on top of the world or on top of my shit, the way I interact with people on a day-to-day, I always want that to be with, like, my best foot forward. Because, like, I don't know if other people feel, but I'm very receptive to how people treat me and the emotions they bring into an interaction. And if somebody comes to me with, like, hey, like, I kind of feel, I don't know, it's like I don't want to say sensitive, but like I'm taken back by that, and it kind of lowers my vibe. I'm like, oh, is there something to be sad about? Should I like do something? And when somebody, even like somebody in a store, just like really being happy, and like even if it's just their Chick-fil-A corporate training, like if they're just happy to see me like saying what's up and they feel genuine, I feel infectious. Like I'll walk away from that interaction feeling really good. And I don't know if I'm like actively trying to be that for other people, but it's more just like, why not go into every interaction with some happiness? Because I am happy, and like when I get to Fern Rock at 7 in the morning, am I happy to be up at 7 in the morning? I don't know. But I'm looking outside, there's the sunrise, it's nice. I know I'm going to see, with this instance, kids who are gonna be, kids are the happiest. They are happy about everything. They are always ready to just give you the most happiness you will feel all month, just from existing. And I think that's why I've always gravitated to like working with kids and just like interacting with my family members who are younger. And yeah, in that side of happiness, it doesn't feel like something active, but it definitely feels like something I value, and something I know about doing on purpose, but something I feel very strongly like I identify with, being that kind of person. I asked you about getting out of a funk. Did you say what you did to get out of that funk, or no?
Focusing on the stuff I'm grateful for, or like focusing on the positives of the situation. It's kind of what I do, or just like take a walk, literally, like get outside. I feel like helps, which is also part of like doing things I love, like nature. So like little things that I can do that I know that'll make me happy, I'll kind of just like force myself to do it, and then it just becomes natural, like the more you do it. So yeah. How about you?
Taking a walk is a huge one. I think I try and be around other people, which I feel like is probably pretty common. It's just like I know if I'm in a bad mindset, being alone, there's not a lot of external stimulus to like get me on a different thought process. So trying to like stay away from numbing activities like sleeping or just like, I don't know, like watching things or stuff. Like I'm usually going to the people in my life who I know, just like being around them will get me out of that isolated headspace where I'm just in an echo chamber of my own negativity. So being around people, and then walk is nice, isn't it?
It's
oh, it's
so
warm out.
good.
I love walking through the woods, thinking about things, looking at little squirrels. There's cats walking by in this alley. I don't know if you saw it. You're at the bed angle, but it's nice. You said in the one that you were looking forward to doing events in Philly. What did that mean? It wasn't specific.
Yes. So I feel like I really do love community and bringing people together. So I just want to start having events in Philly, just more surrounded around like music, but also just like arts and crafts nights. Or I wanted to do like a vinyl event, so like everyone comes, brings their vinyl, talks about why it's their favorite vinyl, like why they bought it, and then we just listen to music, eat food, and I wanted to do like music showcases because I feel like music is a very important thing in my life. So just like highlighting smaller artists and like having people have that platform to find out smaller artists because I feel like a lot of people, they don't go exploring for new music, they just kind of listen to the same thing. So I feel like having events, like seeing artists perform in person, is like something I've like been wanting to do for a while. So like this year I was like, let me do it. Like let me see what it takes to like actually put on events in Philly, surrounded by music and stuff like that. So that's what I was referring to.
Wait, like I'm a bassist you like what does that even mean? Like to me, I taught myself bass, and for a while I didn't really give myself credit for that, but I used to think back and be like, what the hell did I do during COVID? Like, did I just smoke my brains away? And I was like, no, I just like played bass every single day, and I can't look back and like distinguish, oh, this day I did this and this day I did that, but then I came out of it a musician. When I went in, I really wasn't. So it was kind of interesting. Or like embroidery, I've spent so much of my life embroidering that it's honestly concerning. But it's like there was a point where I was embroidering something on the back of this sweatshirt, and I had like 3 different jobs with very weird hours. So I was just like, I'm gonna work, come home at 3 a.m, embroider until sunrise, like sleep, wake up, embroider, and go to sleep again, embroider again. Like it was just like nonstop grinding. And yeah, there's just like a lot of hobbies that I've picked up and been passionate about. But what you said about it's okay to put things down and come back to them and not feel like, oh, do I really care about this because I'm not doing it constantly? Like, I need to hear that so badly. Like, I need to tell myself in the past that so badly, and I need to kind of internalize that a lot more because it is, I think it is a good thing to know.
Especially because like social media, it always shows you everyone doing 100 things at once. So I feel like reminding yourself that just be where your feet are at and like be at your own pace is very helpful, especially for me. But yeah.